Hello, all you crafters and recyclers out there in Cyberland. Thanks for dropping by the Goddess's channel once again. Today I'm going to show you how to make some of these awesome bezeled faux fire opal stones. That's actually kind of a tongue twister, that's why I said it so slow. Fire opal stones, faux fire opals that are bezeled, ready to use for any kind of crafts, including, say, mosaics, jewelry making, phone decoration of it, about just about anything. And you actually can make these with stuff that you find around your home. However, you do have to be a little bit versed in epoxy resin, because that's what these are made with, some epoxy resin. Aren't these gorgeous? And you can't really tell that they're not stones, but even if you can, they're awesome. They'll do every color. They can show up every color. These are my favorite. These are like little galaxies. So, okay, let's get started.
Roadhouse.
Here's what you'll need. I know you ladies will have plenty of these laying around. Just some old, this is what I use, some old makeup trays. I clean all of the things out, and then I take the little metal trays. As you can see here, today we're going to make some nice round ones. These are just plain old makeup trays. You just carefully pry them up out of the packages. Some packages are very unique and really cool, and then some packages don't have these trays in them, so you have to watch that too. Today, like I say, today we're going to make some round ones. Okay, so you need some makeup trays, some nail polish. It doesn't matter if it's glittery or shiny, but it does have to be opaque. You want it to be opaque. I find the darker the better with the lighter mylar, which is actually next. Some glittery, sparkly mylar. I got this from a fingernail decorating kit, and I tried to decorate my fingernails with it, and it didn't really work out that well, but I'm always into sparkly stuff, so I kept it around, and when I started doing resin, it turned out to be perfect. And of course there's some more iridescent. You can use fantasy film as well. I think you can find that at Walmart or wherever. Fantasy film, that's exactly what it's called. This I actually, for you recycle artists out there, I actually recycled this from old Christmas garland. It had such a wonderful iridescence to it, I had to have it. So, and of course I had to have scissors. You can chop it up. You chop it up real fine like this. Or you can use it big, depending on how big you want your stones as well, and what kind of fissures you want them to look in there. But I've chopped it up real fine for this. Tweezers. Definitely going to need tweezers. It's really hard to hold on to that stuff with your fingers, so I use tweezers. And then of course, to finish it off and make it into an actual stone, you need epoxy resin. This is what I use. It's very clear, and I'll put you a link in the description below so you can contact these people. They've got awesome customer service, very, very eco-friendly. And the actual chemists will work with you if you have a problem with it. It's really good company. Okay, let's get started on what we got to do. Now, the first part of this is very, very, very simple. If you can paint your nails, you can do the very first part of this. First thing you want to do is take your nail paint, color the inside. Just slather on and make it as thick as you can. Cover as much of the silver part as you can. Just lots and lots. Paint your tins. Make sure you get the sides. Now you can use any kind of paint. I just use fingernail paint because it never ever interacts with the resin as long as it's dry. And also, it just gives you a shiny, and I think nail paints have a lot more variety than, say, like acrylics and stuff. You can get the glitters and you can get different shimmers, and you can't do that with regular acrylic paints or oil paints or anything like that. But again, you can use whatever you want, as long as it's dry when you finish, or when you get ready to do the acrylic. And you'll want to do each one of these individually. So when you have enough paint, you take your Mylar. I'm going to use this. This works so good with the dark colors. And just spread it in there. You want to put it in there while the paint is wet so that you can avoid floating. You can avoid the pieces floating when you do the epoxy resin. Again, like I say, this is fairly easy if you have anything, any knowledge at all of epoxy resin. And I like easy. That's why I came up with this method, because otherwise you'd want to glue all of these things down if you let the paint dry. Just put it in the paint. It actually takes on a lot of the colors of the paint, but it also reflects the others. And see how neat that is, even without the, so far, even without the epoxy resin. It's gorgeous. That's going to be so awesome when we put the epoxy in it. Alright, I'm going to do the rest of these. Basically, you just finish it up, do just like I did on all of them, and let them dry for a couple of hours at least. I always do it overnight just to make absolutely sure. But fingernail polish doesn't usually take that long to dry, unless you make it real thick. That's why I usually do it overnight, just to make absolutely sure. Because I do put it on thick. Don't forget to get the insides. If you droop a little over the outside, that's not going to be too big of a problem. You can always just wipe it off once you're done. So I'm going to finish these, and then I'll be back. Okay, these are all finished now. I've got all the glitter and the paint inside them, finished them all up to show you. Try to make sure, if you can, I know this, that you want it to like stand up in some spots and stuff like that, but try to make sure that it doesn't stand up above the edge. Otherwise, your resin will run out of these dishes. So just every now and again flatten them and everything. And time to let them dry for at least an hour. If you're in a really, really big hurry, at least let them dry for an hour. I would say 2 to be absolutely safe and sure. That way you have a minimum of floating particles, things like that, because you gotta let the paint dry, and it is kind of thick. So I'll see you in a couple of hours. Well, it'll be next minute for you, but for me, it'll be a couple of hours. Anyways, enjoy so far. Oh, no. Okay, everybody. I've let these dry for about 5 hours. I had some other things to do. You know how it goes. Besides, I told you I usually like to do it for a 24-hour period, but to get the video to you quicker, I went ahead and just waited 5 hours, did a few things, and so here I am. The moment of truth. Well, the moment we turn these into actual stones. Now again, like I said, you do need to have some experience with 2-part epoxy resin. I've already got some made up. I'm not going to teach you how to do that. There's plenty of other videos that'll do that. And then of course, You just use it as directed. Pour it in. Sometimes you might have to do more than one layer because you do want these a little bit domed, but if you try to do it right away the first time, sometimes it'll just go, it'll overflow. So I err on the side of caution because I don't like to waste anything, and usually a mistake like that is a waste of at least 2 to 5 milliliters of resin. Maybe a little bit less. But also too, it ends up messing up the piece as well. Which is also another waste of not only time, but also the materials that you used. Sometimes this stuff drips down the side even though you squeeze it and make it a spout for it. Ooh. Ooh, see, you can actually see how pretty these are going to be before they're even hardened. Once you put the clear resin in there, it shows you what you're going to get. It's really pretty. There's going to be some bubbles because, well, they'll come up. But what I usually like to do, because these pieces do stand up, some of them do stand up from the bottom. They're not all attached to the bottom of the of their tin. But this is a good way to get rid of the bubbles in it and make sure that all of the places are filled in as well. This looks good for now. This looks good for now. If I need it, in this case, I'm going to just err on the side of caution and not overfill these. We can dome them I can dome them next time. You can see it's full now. There we go. You can see it's nice and full. I shall cover them up as to avoid dust and debris. Well, first get rid of the bubbles. That's right. I usually take I've got a little plastic stirrer that I got. I don't even remember where I got it. It was in one of those fancy drinks. I was like, oh, that's so cool to work with. I love pointy things. So I take very gently and make sure that everything's all pushed down. This will extract bubbles from any creases. Yeah, see that one? Try to be careful. You can spill these. I'm actually standing up because of the camera, so I'm not quite as steady and gentle as I like to be when I'm sitting down, actually at eye level with these things. Yeah, see, we had a floater. This also helps you to eliminate the floaters as well, although I don't see too many floaters in mine today. Ooh, this one's almost too full. If you think you're going to have an accident, I always, oops. That's definitely going to make it too full. If you think you're going to have an overflow, take whatever you use to stir or whatever like that, dip it in there. It'll actually pull some of it off, some of it out, and you can avoid ugliness. Much better. Okay. Don't know what you guys use. This is really quick. I see a lot of people using just lighters. I use a little torch lighter. Much quicker. And you don't have to sit there and go. Gets rid of them real quick. Now, cover it up for protection. And we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, folks, it's time for the big unveiling. It's tomorrow. Of course, it's only a few seconds after I just left you for the film, but let's see what happened here. Ooh, those look so good. And here we have it. They're nice and hard. 24 hours. I love these. And I hope you do too, because what I'm going to do, since you guys were so nice to hang out with me and help me make these, is I'm going to give these away to some lucky person watching this video. All you have to do is leave me a comment in the section below, and I will run this contest until Halloween to give people a chance to share and comment. And then I will go to random.org, and some lucky winner will get this beautiful set. Oops. This beautiful set of fake opals that have bezels. You can use them for all kinds of stuff. Scrapbooking, decorating, card making. Some people are going to put them on their phone cases. Me, I probably would make rings out of them or something. But you can also do wire wrapping, and you can make pendants. Anything. These things are good for anything. And, like I say, you're helping me save the planet, because we just recycled not just the makeup tins, but the Mylar as well. Like I say, the Mylar actually came from the clear Mylar, or the white Mylar that actually is now green and blue and purple. Actually was recycled from an old, and I mean old, this was from like the 60s, I think, old Christmas garland. It was just so beautiful I couldn't pass it up. I couldn't just throw it away. So, put a comment down in the comment section, and you could win these beautiful, beautiful creations that we just made together. Until the next time I come up with something for you guys to see, this has been Laura the Goddess with Totally Unique Treasures. Come see me again, and please, please share and subscribe. I'll have more goodies on the way. I'm not real fast at it, but when I do, I get you good stuff. Thanks for watching. See you next time.